Y'all, peace and love. So, I want to get into a collective reading tonight. Um, but I wanted to share this message because I've seen this on one of the other channels that I'm tuned into, an amazing reader, Grand Vibes. Um, and he was kind of bringing it to our awareness that this moon was in Taurus, which deals with family, right? And I've also been seeing a lot of unions, a lot of messages on divine unions coming together because we're going into a shift. And these unions are actually necessary for what's taking place because with these soulmates, these twin flames, with what is taking place with this shift is meant for these people to come together and be able to embrace each other and create this powerful force within their family dynamics and in their communities, because this is going to break a lot of curses. And so during this time, we see a lot of things taking place right now, but this shift is necessary to bring about this new earth and what's needed for us to elevate. So, with this full moon being about family, I did want to do readings this week, family readings. And this can be for divine couples or just readings on family in general. So basically, what we'll be doing is breaking down things and ways to heal your family dynamic. Some people may just want to get readings for certain, things going on in the family, and some of you may want to know how to work to bring your family together, whether that's you and your partner and your children, or your extended relatives, siblings, whatever the case may be. Um, with this moon bringing in these balanced couples and these divine couples, I also want to be able to offer um, readings, love readings that are family oriented. So, one of our questions will be, how can I manifest the family that I desire? What is it that we need to do as a collective to manifest the family that we desire? So, if your family dynamic is that you want somebody who is your peace, someone who is your protector, someone who balances your life out, whatever it is that you're seeking to desire, we're going to do readings and ask our ancestors and spirit team to show us what it is that we need to manifest that or to accomplish that goal, right? So tonight, that's what we're going to kind of get into is what is it that we need to do to manifest the family that we desire? What is it that we need to do to heal our family? And these readings will be what I will be doing, which I'll still have the other readings, but this is going to be one of my specials this week for the collective as far as the full moon goes. So if you would like a full moon reading, the readings are 4444, and you get a full session to break down how to heal your family dynamic. We go over a few questions just to really look into your bloodline. Um, I also can incorporate like the ancestral readings in this since it is for the family. And I actually would like to because the ancestral readings communicate with your family on both your maternal and your paternal side so that you can see what gifts you inherited as well as what curses they're calling you to break through your blood lineage, right? So that can also be included in these readings because this time is going to be all about the family, and we want to be able to shift, all of our individuals and our couples into healthy family dynamics. So I'm going to put this up here. I just got this burning. It's a Pure House incense. Um, And we're going to get started in this reading. So I'm going to pull from my hoodoo deck tonight. And the question that we have for our ancestors and our spirit team to start off with is, first, let's get a general energy reading on the collective family energy right now. Ooh, and look, the Nine of Wands came out while I was cutting this deck. So even with this Nine of Wands, this can be about reunions. This can be people who are coming together. This can be a family dynamic that is a very strong dynamic, or you can be somebody who is family oriented. Everybody ain't family oriented, okay? Some people are actually detached from their family, or and not to say that that means they're not family oriented, because some people do start families of their own and things like that. But some people don't prioritize family. Some people don't do like the simple as calling your elders and checking on them. Simple as just, checking on the ones you love or being there for them, whatever the case may be. Some people don't prioritize that. Like some people are literally detached into a space where their life is just about them, or they're just partying, or they're just focused on the money. So what I am picking up is that this can be somebody who is family oriented, and that you may have come from a strong foundation, like a family that was also family oriented, that, came together often. So I am seeing some reunions that are coming up for the collective, and we're going into that season. People are going to be celebrating for Thanksgiving. Y'all know I have my own views about that, but people are still going to come together regardless as families. And so I do see some people being in that space this during the season, right? So let's see what we can get from that. Yeah, the Five of Wands is here. I still ain't did my nails, y'all. The Five of Wands is here. And what I'm seeing is that there could have been some conflict. There could have been some disagreements amongst the family, right? I am seeing someone who is about family, but there may be some arguments that have taken place, some disagreements. Somebody could be coming from a family that has had, dysfunctions. There's children fighting at the table, while the parents are sitting here and talking or whatever. But this card is also about making amends. This card is about forgiving. So here, where we see these children, and I'll pick this up in two different downloads or two different messages. But where we have these children, and I'm sure this can be translated where some of us may see this as the children and the parents. But what I was picking up is that it's time to release those childhood wounds, right? That may have come from family. If as relatives, when you were young, you were fighting or you had disagreements, whatever the case may be, I'm seeing a place of growth. So I'm actually seeing, these children here growing into a place where they can come back and be forgiving or have compassion towards one another. So, this is calling for you to open up that heart space. And I feel like a lot of times our collective, we really need that. Like I need to hold um, more circles where we're doing emotional healing and sound therapy. Because I've noticed sometimes just when people come to me, I can tell where their energy is, their, mental space, or just their aura. Like I can tell just by talking to them where their heart space is, whether it's heavy or super heavy, in a critical space or whatever the case may be. And so I was thinking about doing justice. What is it? Okay, I'll get it when I finish, okay? So I was picking up that I needed to put together some type of healing circle, maybe a virtual healing circle where everyone can get that. I may do, do it for donations, tips, whatever, but that way we can relieve some of that tension in our heart space where we've been hurt, disappointed, betrayed, backstabbed by people from the past. And this can come from the wounds of our family. Like we can have, and I know some people who've been betrayed by their own family members, and that's heavy, right? Sometimes these family members can be people from our childhood who have hurt us terribly. Like there's been people who've come from molestation. There's been, women or men who've grown and had mothers who hated them and did really toxic things for them. So there's a lot of us that need to heal from different types of traumas, because when we don't heal it correctly and release that energy, it becomes trapped and it becomes sickness in the body. Sometimes we isolate ourselves and we just don't want to be bothered with people. And I really apologize for my daughter crying in the background, y'all. Like I'm trying to create a schedule where I can do this and she can have some independent time. And so we're working on breaking her out of being up under me 24/7, because mommy needs mommy time in order to keep the bills paid. And so we're working on that. Y'all give me just a minute though, okay? Justice, come here. What's the issue? Okay, stop. Okay, well, I'm gonna cut it on something. One more time. Don't mess with it, because that movie should have stayed on. All right. Okay. Alrighty, y'all. So I really apologize about that. We're working on this where, like I said, she has more independent time so that I can get things that need to be taken care of done. And it's really hard sharing that with my community. It's really hard for me, single mom. I'm in a place where I don't have, a mom or grandma who can be like, let me get the baby while you do this. It's just me here. I don't have anybody that is here with me. So I have had to learn how to adapt and prioritize and give my daughter a lot of time, and then still be able to be like, okay, I need this time to work. Can you handle a couple of hours, and I'll come check on you, or whatever the case is. So y'all be patient with me. I'm doing the best that I can. But it really would help if y'all make sure to, like the channel, share the channel, subscribe to the channel, because those things help me. I am working on getting to a little goal. So, if y'all want to donate or whatever to help a single mama out who doing her thing, y'all can do so. But just back to what I was saying in the reading with this Five of Wands energy, a lot of us have carried a burden from our childhood, right? And sometimes it takes us to really get older to even process what is going on, right? It sometimes it takes us to get older to even process some of the dysfunction and things that was normalized in our family. And that's what happens a lot of times with the collectives when they begin to wake up. And a lot of them will begin to fall back because they're like, oh my gosh, like this is a horror story. Seriously, seriously. But in this energy here is what I'm picking up is there's a need for forgiveness and growth here. So there can be some reconciliation between family during this time. It's 8:08 on the clock. There can be someone making amends, some conflict resolution, so some problem solving that takes place here. The Sun card is here. So this can also be dealing with let me see. Let me make sure first before I say that. Okay. Ooh, wow. Okay, so I got my 3 cards right here. The big 3. So someone has been carrying something from their childhood, right? And with this Sun card being here, what I'm picking up is that everything wasn't always perfect. Now, this person could have come from a 2-parent household, or this was the thing that may be the conflict. Like, whatever it was, or the relationship that they seen between their parents was something that was teaching them, especially with the 6 of Wands coming behind the Sun card. It's like, this person gained their values. That's why the Sun card is here. It's like the card of values here from their upbringing, right? Even in your place of growth, with the 6 of Wands being here, I hate that my nails ain't done. Y'all please ignore it. But even with the 6 of Wands being here, in your place of growth, it's like somebody could be sitting back right now and just and be in that place of isolation, right? Learned their lessons. They went through those ups and downs on the merry-go-round, and now they're just sitting back and observing. I think somebody can be in a place where they're questioning what they learned as far as their values when it comes to family. What does a healthy family look like? Like, someone could have been in a place where either they have an idea, or I'm picking up like the parents, watching your parents. If whether you grew up in a single parent household or a 2-parent household, it's really important to be able to see those two work together in a long-term relationship and be able to solve problems, right? That matters. So it mattered how your parents spoke to each other. It mattered how your parents had disagreements. It mattered whether, they were compassionate towards each other. All those things mattered. And even if you never saw those things, then you could also be in that place where you're reflecting and questioning, what does it mean to have a healthy family dynamic? Like, I haven't seen that in a household, and I'm just going off what I think it should be, right? But I haven't seen it passed down or actually seen it operating to know that I can do it myself. And some people need those set examples to be able to do something. Like, I'm grateful to have the counselors that I have in Black Love School, and um, the elders, because they've been in marriages for over 25 years. And it's really amazing to, sit and learn values and exercises with them, because they have mastered marriage. They've mastered healthy family dynamics, and they're teaching others how to do it. So, you know, sometimes when we don't know the answer to a problem, our first thing is we just think we failed the test. And that's not always the case. Sometimes it's finding the right teacher or tutor, or, you know, the right guide to help you to solve that solution, so you're not having to figure it out on your own. And so, it's African centered to have a community. A lot of times when we talk about relationships, we want our privacy, or it's my business, this and that. But those things actually have done more harm to our communities than anything, because we begin to isolate ourselves sometimes in relationships, or when the relationship is abusive, we don't talk to people about it who can kind of guide us to heal and move on, or whatever the case may be. And so, when we say, well, that's none of my business, or this and that, we are also a part of the problem, because African spirituality teaches accountability and it teaches community. And so, if you're over there beating on your woman, it's the community's issue now, because we need to correct this issue before one of our community members is killed. We need to correct this issue so that even if she leaves, you don't go around here and continue to hurt people in our community, because that's going to hurt the fathers, the mothers, the sisters, the brothers, the children. So when you hurt one of our sisters, you hurt everybody. Okay. And it's vice versa. If you hurt one of our brothers, you hurt everybody. So there's a consciousness in the collective that has to be had, where we're not just having a village to raise the children, but we have a village to support healthy family dynamics. Because a lot of times we make it seem so unacceptable to be in love and to be in unions. Like, we have these titles now: you're a pick me, or you're a simp, because you want love. We have these corny titles where we name call people who actually want love. And we've really normalized this culture of dysfunction, where we hate each other, we hate the other gender, we want to be homosexual, or whatever the case may be. We'd rather do that. And those things are still not a healthy family dynamic, not from an African standpoint. Because even our ancestors put in divine law that we're not supposed to be homosexuals. So, other cultures and spiritual groups, they gonna do what they do, but we always go back to the ancient stuff, because it's the ancient stuff that everybody got bits and pieces of their information from. So, and they're just getting the bits and pieces. Like, they're not actually sitting and studying, they're not actually doing the work to go through the initiations and stuff. And I think that's why the spiritual community is all over the place. And that's why we start seeing people who develop spiritual psychosis and all these other things, because they're not really grounded. They don't have a solid teacher who can guide them. And you need one, okay? we just, sometimes you need one, okay? So yeah, so that's what I'm picking up from these three cards, is just someone is really questioning or trying to figure out what that means. What does it mean to have a healthy family dynamic? And it's like, I see this person with the Six of Wands, they want to be successful at it, right? Like, they know that that's something that they want, but they know that they need peace. They also know that they don't want to go through the things that they went through and experienced in their childhood, and they don't want their children to go through it. And that's what I'm picking up from that Five of Wands energy, is like, those things that happen from your childhood, those traumas can also kind of traumatize you in your adulthood, to where you're like, well, I don't want to deal with that. But that's not your reality. Because, see, you're here because you're the healer. You're here because you're breaking the generational curses. And so that's why you're tuned into this channel, right? So we are going to create these healthy family dynamics. And so it's just a matter of, what is it that we need to do in order to help the collective get there? Like, what goal is it that we need to accomplish, or what things do we need to accomplish to help the collective get to these healthy family dynamics? The Four of Coins. So I'm picking up with this card that someone is needing to focus their energy, right? Really decide what it is that you want and write this down. And this is going to be perfect for this full moon energy. What do you visualize as a healthy relationship? And I said healthy. So I don't want, and I'm not saying you can't accomplish this because it's possible, but let's take away the money. Let's take away looks. Let's take away everything from the 3D materials. He got to be driving X, Y, and Z. He got to have this type of job. Let's take all of that away. What would fill your soul up to where you feel safe with the person that you're with, that you feel secure with that person, that you feel like you can allow that person to lead? And the both of you are leading, divine masculines and feminines. So what makes you feel safe with that person enough to trust their leadership and their decisions as well? That matters because divine masculines and divine feminines lead together. There's not the feminine leading over the man or the man leading over the woman. There's balance. So, what would make you feel safe? What would make you feel like you can trust that person? What would be the type of relationship you would want to have to put all of your energy into? Because this Four of Coins is about who and what you put your energy into. And if you're wise about it, you can manifest the type of relationship you want, but are the intentions coming from a pure space? Is it coming from the heart? Because we can make all the offerings we want to, we can do all the prayers we want to, but we as divine people, we are the temple, we are the shrine. Our heart is the biggest devotion that we can have towards any purpose, prayer, or anything like that. That's what is heard first, is our heart. So when we go to our altars at any time, when we pray at any time, we want to always do it from a place where we have a clear head, that we're in a good emotional space. That's why we don't go to the altar angry or anything like that, but we go in a good grounded space and we pray from our heart. We set our intentions from our heart. If this came down to God will give you the one thing that you desire out of somebody, but you only got one wish, what would it be? You could say you can have a man with money, right? But would that solve the issue that you want to accomplish as far as having a healthy family dynamic? Because a man can have money and he can still cheat and beat, right? So this is about you. I can't sit and tell you, like I can sit here and tell you all day what I would prefer. What makes me feel safe is a man that's not pressuring me, a man that isn't moving too fast, a man that starts off as my friend and then we become lovers, but our friendship is pure. Our friendship is divine. A man that is my peace. A man that does not trigger my nervous system every 5 minutes. A man that allows me to be free, that is not possessive, that understands that I'm a free spirit and he can love me in that space, right? He doesn't need to control me. He doesn't need to tell me what to do. You know why? Because I'm a Himat and Toro. So a Himat and Toro already got a whole deity that tells her what to do. I'm connected to a deity. Men have to come to me for answers, not and they got to respect and protect that in Toro. Okay, so But that is what makes me feel safe with the man, is his honesty, right? Him being honest, even if the honesty is raw, even if the honesty is uncomfortable. I would rather have a man tell me, hey, I like this and that, and I'm attracted to these women, and you know what, I would rather a man tell me that than a man playing that like, no, them girls ain't nothing, and then turn around and be in those girls' inboxes. You feel what I'm saying? Because just because he tells me that doesn't mean he's going to entertain it or do anything. But he's being transparent with me. He's being open because he sees me as a friend. He sees me as somebody that he can trust with his truth, and he feels safe enough with me to express that, right? So those things are okay. I don't want to change him. I don't want him to change me. Because I might, see something. And I'm not saying that I'm going to be looking at people out of lust. All right. That's not what we're talking about. But you do have to allow people to grow. And a lot of times when we get with people, automatically it's what are we doing? And we boyfriend and girlfriend, and we just automatically have this expectation, and we get disappointed a lot of times because of the expectation, because we expect for these people to come in and already be this divine space. We expect, and that's what's let a lot of people down in life, is their expectations of other people. I used to get told all the time, you expecting yourself out of other people. I was expecting people to handle stuff the way I would handle stuff, but that's never going to happen, because we've all had different backgrounds, different mindsets, different things that motivate us, different triggers, different traumas, different thought patterns, different emotions. We all got our own fingerprint, right? We're never going to all think the same. Now, you will find people who are like-minded, but we're not meant to be robots. And it's okay for people to change their mind, change whatever the case may be. So in this space, some people are like, what is a healthy dynamic? And what I'm seeing here is that when it comes to what you want with this Four of Coins energy, this is about you reflecting on the things that bring you peace, on the things that make you safe. I share these things on here with y'all because y'all are my wonderful family and collective, right? And one of the things I had to learn is stop telling the world what you're looking for out of love. That's your sacred place to take to your petition. And unless you go into somebody like a counselor or whatever the case may be. And the only reason I say that as a woman is I realized there were so many people that wanted to harvest my energy. There were so many people that would see my profile page and they would try to fit the description of, this is what I'm looking for in a man. This is what I want. And that's what spiritual predators do, right? Like, it took me to learn this. And it even took me to go through counseling to even learn this, that when we do that, especially as women or men, that it gives off like this form of desperation. That's how we get preyed on by people who know, because they know how to fit that description, because you've already given them what they need to apply. You've already told them what they need to fill out the application. You gave them the cheat sheet. Don't give people your cheat sheet. Let people win fairly. Like, they need to get to know you, right? But in this space, what is it that you desire? This is something that you should write down. Not a person. Don't write down a person's name. You're going to lose every time when you do that. Just write down from your soul to your spirit team, what is it that you desire? If it's safety, if it's somebody to build with, if it's somebody to laugh with, you want somebody you can hike with. They ain't gonna do everything that you want to do, because they gonna want to do their own things too, right? That's what complementary is about. That's what balancing things is about. It's about harmonizing two energies. So they're going to do things the way they want to do things. Let them be free to do that. When you try to be like, no, you don't need to do that, or you're trying to micromanage another soul, you don't have permission to do that. That's why Western marriages and stuff like that is contracts to people that that's why you need to find your bayati. And I'm not discouraging people from marriage, but I'm saying that a lot of us are practicing into a ritual that we don't understand because we're romanticizing it. And we want the love, but we don't understand that we need somebody who makes us feel safe, somebody who checks all the green lights, somebody who has healthy communication with us, somebody who is not weighing our soul down, right? Somebody who comes in and motivates us, right? Like, so for me, it's certain things that I'm going to be like, this the one, right? Right? Like that, it just happens like that because it's something that speaks to your soul more than it does as far as it, and you can tell, like, even with the if you're chasing after money, materials, oh, he got a nice car, or he fine, those things, they're gonna add up because you didn't really value that person's soul. You just saw them for the things on the outside. Healthy dynamics are always soul unions. So just keep that in mind, because with that Four of Coins, it's like someone in a very deep space of really needing to determine what is it that you want. And that was one of the questions that I learned when I went to counseling. My counselor was like, you don't even seem like you know what you want. Because I was telling my counselors, I'm like, well, I do got a few suitors, but I know that I want this, and that out of a man. And I can't find that out of a man. Like, they don't be doing, they're not this, And so I had to learn how to align myself, right? I had to learn how to be still. I had to learn how to also be myself, because being myself was what was going to attract my person. So I tell y'all that divine feminines, right? Because when we're looking for love, that's when we kind of mess up. When we just love ourselves and we being our true selves, it finds us. And when it finds us, it's so beautiful that we don't have to, because whatever it was that we was doing in our purpose is what draws, I'm telling y'all, it draws the divine masculine in. Because it's the universe's way of saying the divine feminine has called and stepped into her power. We have to protect her, right? So that's what happens. I've been rambling about this card forever, but see, the spirit just be giving me messages, so I just be talking. I just go along with I just go with the flow. The Seven of Coins is here. Let's see, why is this here? I'm seeing somebody could also want something new, something fresh. So with this Four of Coins and the Seven of Coins, it's like needing to decide what route you want to go. This can be somebody who wants some type of freedom. Someone who wants some type of new beginning. Of course, wanting to have wealth, and that's natural for all of us, but somebody who wants to have some type of new beginning. So this can be somebody who's single still. Like you may not be in a union just yet because you're wanting something fresh, is what I'm saying. Yeah, and this Father of Baskets is here. I'm seeing somebody who is very independent. So you could already have your own type of money. You could already be doing your own thing. So it's like when it comes to that, you ain't worried about that anyways. And I'm saying that also with that Six of Wands, this could be somebody who's kind of preserved or just, to themselves a lot. Somebody who could be focused on money. And so it's like you don't want somebody for money. That's what I'm picking up with this Seven of Coins, the Father of Baskets here. You ain't looking for somebody who can give you money because you already know that that's something that you got in the bag. Like this can be somebody who's an entrepreneur, or with that Father of Baskets here, somebody who's successful and independent. So in that area, you already have that taken care of. You want somebody who can match your fly. Like I'm seeing, like somebody who isn't going to destroy your peace. With the success that you've built, with the wealth that you've obtained, you don't want somebody who's coming in to destroy that. And that's why when you're in this Four of Coins energy, it's so deep because you went through a lot from your childhood, from past relationships, and you've learned a lot. You've accomplished a lot, very successful. And you don't want somebody to come in and waste your time. You don't want somebody to come in and bring chaos into your life where you've created peace after healing yourself from all these traumas that you've went through in the past. So with this Four of Coins energy, that's why you're so in a place where you need to decide, you need to make a decision. You're trying to determine who to put your energy into or where to put your energy into, because you don't have time to mess up. You feel what I'm saying? Like the picking the wrong person can set you back. And you already know that. You've already experienced enough from people, and you know what it is that you want. And you know that you want a healthy family dynamic. Okay, so let's see. Yeah, like the Daughter of Wands is here. So this is somebody who already on their own time. Okay. Miss Independent. And if this is a masculine, you can still be independent. You got the Father of Baskets there. But this is somebody who's doing their own thing. Like, and I'm seeing a lot of traveling, right? Even with that Seven of Coins, even with this Daughter of Wands, like you making business moves. This is somebody who is a high performing woman or a high performing man. So you really making some strong moves when it comes to your own success. And it's like you don't want anybody to come in and break that up. You're not looking for money out of a person. You're looking for somebody who can bring you peace. That's why the Two of Wands is here. You don't need anybody coming in that is going to take away from your peace. So the person who's coming into your life needs to be somebody who can just be a fresh space of air. Like, it's like you just looking for somebody who isn't going to betray you. Someone who isn't going to create conflict. Somebody who's going to harmonize with you and bring you peace. I'm picking up somebody who's already found peace within themselves. So now you're just looking for your complement. You're just looking for your person. It may not necessarily be looking for them, but you're also in a place where you do want a companion. Like you don't want to just be single and lonely forever. Yeah, you're like in a place where you're ready for your person, basically, with this World card being here. And the Two of Baskets at the bottom. So this is someone who's ready for marriage. Somebody's ready. Somebody's ready. Somebody is done with that single life. Like with this 2 of Wands being here, somebody is over it. Okay, like gotta take the glasses off. Somebody's over it. Now they want somebody who can feel like home to them and be their peace, but they over the single life. Like somebody is ready for this 2 of Cups energy. And this is 2 of Baskets here, but this 2 of Cups where it's coming together. And I'm picking up that your person is also going to have their own stuff going. So that's why they both have their own baskets, because they both already bring something to the table. So it's not going to be a relationship that drains you or anything like that. This is 2 people who are walking together in harmony. So that's what we're all striving for, is relationships that harmonize and that bring balance to, both parties. Now, I did want to get some messages from love. And let's see, because it did go from talking about like the past. So what I'm seeing, and this is kind of going into the past few live readings if y'all have seen them, but we talked about these divine unions breaking curses, not just for themselves, but for their family and their community, right? So with these unions, is naturally going to heal the family, because you may be the solution for the other people in the family who haven't got there. You know how that is. Like some people start having babies around you. Now you got baby fever. Oh, everybody getting married around you. Now you tired of being single. You know what I'm saying? So by you stepping up and being in this place, it's like you're setting the standard for the other people around you, because you've taken the initiative to go into this world space, like into a place of growth and completion. Like you're in a place where you're ready to start a new chapter, and this chapter is bringing about growth. So what I'm seeing is that with this person, and even with yourself, it's necessary to heal those things from your childhood. It's necessary to do the shadow work. It's necessary to do the heart healing, relieve that grief, do forgiving, forgive yourself for things that you've gone through, but also forgive other people. They don't have to. Forgiveness is not always about reconciliation, but it will help you to have a lighter heart and to make peace. Write the things down, burn it, take it to a river, take it to a lake, take it to some water and release that energy. But don't hold on to it, because emotions, they're not meant to hold on to forever. They're meant to pass through so that we can keep our bodies light. We're supposed to feel them. We're supposed to process them. But when we don't know how to release them in a healthy way, they become stagnant. And so it's important for us to release those things from the past, because it's time for our future. It's time for the new chapter. It's time for us, now that we're in a place where we're growing, we're accomplished, we're meeting our goals, we're making things happen for ourselves, we're being successful. It's time for us to walk into this place of marriage. It's time for us to walk into this place of union and have somebody to come in. That's the next, it's like that's the next thing on the list. Okay, I done accomplished this for myself. I done did this for myself. I done did this for myself. Now I'm ready to get married. You see what I'm saying? Like, and that's how we should really be doing some of this. Like in life, like we should be setting goals for ourselves to be like, okay, like marriage don't always have to be at the top of your list. Okay. Some people might not want to get married till they're X, Y, Z age. Live your life. Want to go on tour. Want to go do this. Want to go party a little. Want to do this. Gonna knock down some things. Okay. I've accomplished all these things. Now I'm ready to go into a union. And that's just how it is for some of y'all. But it's going to actually be something that's healing for you and for the people that surround you. So that's a good thing, because you're going to be leading by example, right? You're going to be leading by example when you call your person into you. So again, write down for this full moon, write down the things that you desire out of a person, out of a soulmate. Don't write down the person. None of that. None of that. Okay? I want you to sit with your own soul and your own heart and be like, this is what my heart desires. This is what I desire out of a family, out of a marriage. This is what I want for myself. And that is what we take into our altar for the full moon. So, and if you want to come to me for a personal reading to get further details and more in depth with your reading and what you can do, we can do that as well. I can walk y'all through some rituals. I can walk y'all through certain things to write down that can help you. I also help with creating, prayers, petitions. Because sometimes you need that. Like sometimes we just can't pull it out of ourselves, or sometimes we need somebody who can guide us or who've mastered certain things, So let me see. Pull some messages from here. Ask for help. What do you really need? Be willing to accept support. So here we go, y'all. It's time to go to counseling. Even if it's not counseling, you got some married friends around you, friends that are in healthy unions. It's time to ask them, what would you do in this situation? And they'll tell you. They're the best people to go to. Married people who are doing it for a long time, the best people to go to when you need certain advice, because they can actually tell you how to get through certain things or certain issues. So ask for help. Get to know each other. Learn to meet another's need for each other. So for you and your person, if you are in a place where you're courting or dating, or if you're just calling your person to you, it's time for you to get to know each other. Take those important steps. Don't skip. Do not skip steps. Get to know each other. All right. Feel your person out. Make sure they match all the green flags. All right. Not just coming in as Prince Charming or the Miss Innocent, Beautiful, whatever the case it is. Make sure that they are able to pass the green flags when it comes to them meeting your family, because they need to harmonize with your family, right? It can't be forced. When y'all force certain connections, that's why you start having that beef with your family. My family don't like my boyfriend. Well, why? Why? It shouldn't be none of that. Why don't your family support this union? Is it because they ain't in a healthy union themselves? Are they jealous? Or is it because your person on some and need to be checked? Okay, so it's always something that we need to create a solution for, to figure out, so that we can end that, because there should not be any conflict between family and these unions, not in healthy family dynamics. It might be some things that family might not like about the person, but most of the time family can tolerate, accept that person and get used to them if they see that it's good for their child. If they see that that relationship is actually healthy and good for their child and it's bettering them, it's helping them to actually grow, hell yeah, they're going to be for it. Okay. Who wouldn't? Everybody wants to see their children happy and to grow into being successful for unions, I would think. But sometimes that might not always be the case. So in this space, getting to know each other is not just sitting down at dates, learning each other's family, about each other's family, friends, just different things. What type of movies you like? You want to watch a movie? Oh, what type of music you like? You know what I'm saying? Like, Those things are important to be able to share a little bit of each other's world. What are you interested in? Oh, okay, I see you like this and that. Okay, you into football. Cool. Like, so you can even see if you're like, I could see myself at football games, or nah, that ain't gonna be my thing. That matters. Can you see yourself in that person's future? Can you see each other in each other's worlds in the future, in the process of getting to know each other? Don't skip important steps. And then this says physical touch. The tender touch can mean so much. So I'm picking up this card is for my people who are already in unions. If y'all remember, y'all sensual healing is important too. Okay. It's important to hug. It's important to kiss, embrace each other in divine connections. All right, like that's a very important part of a divine connection. Now, I said divine connections, right? I have to say this as a divine feminine, and I know that a lot of women deal with this because we can come across people who do not respect boundaries, right? Um, like for example, I had a guy approach me one day, was asking me for my telephone number, and he came up to me and was trying to, hug me and stuff. And I'm like, dude, I don't even know you. Sometimes, Justice, what is wrong? Huh? I'll be in there in a minute, okay? In just a minute. Give me about 5 minutes. But I'm going to have to close this out. But I didn't even know this guy, right? Some people you do have to set boundaries with. If you're still in the courting stage, or you're still in a stage and a guy and you're not ready to have sex or whatever the case, I am not saying that you have to do that. All right. This is only for the people who are in unions who are ready. All right. If you're not ready to go to that level of sex, or if it's, whatever the case may be, and you just meeting your person or just getting in these unions, take the time to get to know them. All right. So this can be for those who need to get to know each other. This can be for those who are in their union. I was going to continue to do more readings, but I'll let y'all book if y'all want one, and we'll pull from these decks. And I also have the messages coming in from your person, as well as some more of these whispers of love cards. So y'all have a wonderful evening. I'm going to go tend to my child. Peace, love, and light.